What is going on, everybody? We are back for our first day of the finals. We are joined with Ohio State, Virginia Tech, two teams battling it out. Co-host Lavelle Want, CEO of the Bragg House, Daniel, Ryan, myself, all joining this madness. Now, this is going to be an absolutely crazy game, guys. I think that Cherries has, he was on fire in the warm-up as we were just looking at. Virginia Tech, Freedom J, they set the tone yesterday. How excited are you guys for today's match?
Oh, man, Matt, I am super excited. I think we're going to have a great game ahead of us. Ohio State, as you guys may know from yesterday, came back down 1-0 to Florida State. And we really saw a great team performance from them in games 2 and 3. And when I say team performance, I really mean it. Ohio State has been by far the most active team in this tournament with substitutions. They've been subbing players in off the pine left and right. So it's going to be really exciting to see what lineup they come out with today and how they'll be able to perform if the chemistry is all still there. But, I feel really good about Ohio State. Meanwhile, over for Virginia Tech, kind of a repeat down early in the series 0-1, came back in a really close match to win game 2 and then blew UCLA out of the water in game 3 to win 2-1. And the biggest thing for them, team performance. Again, in that game 1, they weren't performing as a team. They couldn't get runs across the board, and they really suffered because of that. Game 2 and game 3 particularly, they had all their players just firing on all cylinders, and it showed. And that's why both these teams have earned their chance here in the finals to have a chance of winning our Esports College World Series tournament.
So Matt, what people don't know is that I had a bet with Ryan, and that bet was that if Virginia Tech would have lost, Ryan would have had my job as CEO. So I have my job as CEO, and I'm happy.
And I have my hair today. So unfortunately, your team won, my team lost. So we are joined today by Virginia Tech as Ohio State, as we just said. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is the first ever World Series of Baseball Esports Edition tournament. Now, Daniel, I know that we had some heavy hitters yesterday. I know that we have a whole team in the back updating scores as we go today. What is your prediction for highest score of the game today? Who do you think is going to come out swinging the hardest?
You know what's kind of interesting? We've been in touch in the back office with both teams, and we shared with them like their statistics, like per gamer throughout the entire matches of this tournament. And like Ohio State took it very seriously. We've had a back and forth conversation with them that we were witnessing of like who should we be representing, who had better who was more consistent throughout the tournament with all the subs that they had. So if you're asking me which gamer is likely going to have the highest amount of rounds, I'm probably going to say Freedom J. But as a performance, I have a feeling that Ohio State are going to surprise us this tournament in comparison to the March Madness where they lost to Virginia Tech.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One thing about those statistics, sorry about that, Matt. One thing about those statistics, as Daniel just said, is that looking at the stats, pure stats, Virginia Tech not favored to win that semifinal matchup against UCLA. It was just a lot of heart that went into it, and they were able to pull out the win. UCLA let the pressure get to them just a bit. Meanwhile, Ohio State, they have been consistently performing throughout this entire tournament. They had a little scare against Michigan State in the first round, but in terms of total numbers, they are the favorite to win in this finals matchup based on their tournament performances so far. So I think, again, it's going to be a really great close game.
Now, with that being said, we are jumping into our first match, which is going to be best of 3. So it's going to be very interesting to see what both teams can do during this first game to kind of set the tone. I think it's very psychological, as you were saying yesterday, Ryan. Whoever kind of wins this first one, I think is going to set a heavy psychological burden for the other team to try to catch up in game 2.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about both these teams too is we know that they are mentally tough teams. We saw both these teams go down in their semifinal series. Ohio State going down 0-1 to Florida State, Virginia Tech going down 0-1 to UCLA, and both these teams, when the going got tough, they got tougher, right? So I don't think we're really going to see either of these teams roll over if they lose the first game in the series. I think it's going to be, I honestly I can't pick a favorite.
It's definitely.
I know Lavelle has no problem with that though.
I've had my favorite when my UVA co-host over there lost to his arch rival school, and I'm gonna stay with that favorite because I've been holding down these Hokies for a minute.
Now, you have been very, very loyal. I know Scott yesterday, he acknowledged that the hardcore, VT fandom and the loyal fandom. So after this tournament, I don't think we can call Lavelle fair weather anymore. It's going to be 2 for 2.
We'll see how he feels after game 1.
That's true.
And Scott Begain and Hikanan Sky Angel, thank you guys so much for the follow, supporting our channel so we can keep on putting tournaments like this for you guys. We love seeing that support in the chat by throwing us a follow, throwing us a sub, and it is what enables us to keep doing this. So keep showing that support and show that support for your team too. Let's see some love in the chat from you guys.
Absolutely. Both of these teams have absolutely come into the chat both before their game, after their game, seeing what people are saying, and we've even seen some really cool offers to see 101, some sportsmanship of saying GG, as well as even a couple times where I think it was just straight smack talk, straight brag house style. But, guys, make sure you're showing love to that team. Make sure you guys are supporting them throughout the day. And with that being said, one of the things that Ryan touched on was that follow, that subscribe. As of right now, you guys can still follow us, subscribe. We're going to be doing multiple giveaways today. We're going to be giving away gift cards, giving away some cash. When we do those giveaways, if you're a follower or a subscriber, you're instantly going to get double your prize money. So as long as you're a follower, you are good to go.
And guys, another shout out here, Acton Penner. Thank you so much for the follow. That's that support we love to see. And guys, 5 minutes in, what have we been seeing so far from both these teams?
To me, man, I'm seeing both teams run and gun very quickly, but both of them are also they're moving sharper today. They're definitely moving sharper today.
Yeah, they definitely know what's at stake. They know This isn't the time to mess around. They can't afford to give up even one game because that suddenly means that their championship run is on the line. I'm really curious, and we're seeing Virginia Tech again. They love going military base. They love landing up north in this map, and it's really interesting, right? Because a lot of the teams we've typically been seeing them go hot drops throughout the tournament. The Roof of Superstore has been really popular. Boneyard has been really popular, and we always thought that was a really great strategy because it meant more opportunities at early kills, and even if they get sent to the gulag, they have an early opportunity there, right? But something that it seems like both these teams have realized, maybe it's not the hot drop that they should be going for. They should be trying to get secure good loot, get good guns, so that when they do engage in these fights, they have a better chance of winning and surviving deeper into the tournament. Because, as you guys know, who have been following us throughout the entire tournament, we offer a lot of really cool different rule sets to spice up this game for y'all.
Now, Ryan, can you do us a favor? I know we've had a lot of people tune in over the tournament. We had a couple people yesterday that were tuning in as new people that asked immediately, how is this baseball? What does it have to do with baseball? And you explained it really well. Can you break it down for us real quick?
Yeah.
Today too?
Of course. So, as you guys know, due to the coronavirus, unfortunately, the College World Series and all college and professional sports, for that matter, have been canceled. So us guys over at the Bragg House, we were like, how can we provide some sort of entertainment, some sort of that college sports feel in an esports version? And what we decided was to fill that void of the College World Series, we were going to put on the Esports College World Series. And how we did that is a few simple things. The first of which is every single kill that these teams get counts as one run. And whatever team has the most runs at the end of the 45-minute period wins the game. As well as that, we have home runs and grand slams in the mix too. And the really cool thing about those are, if any player of a squad lives into the top 50 players of that lobby, their squad gets a home run, which means 2 bonus runs added to their squad's total. That's not all. If any of those players then survive into the top 20 players of a lobby, that home run becomes a grand slam. And instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4. And, Matt, Lavelle, guys, we've seen a lot of games decided already this tournament by which team had more home runs, which team had more grand slams, who could really utilize those bonus runs and take advantage of every opportunity that they got.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, already Virginia Tech coming out swinging hard. Freedom J right now has 6 runs already. They are a team that has continually been heavy hitters, but yesterday, Freedom J really went off. More importantly, Jamon showed up as well, bringing the noise, and I believe being one of the top fraggers in most of the games yesterday. Meanwhile, Ohio State utilized some really interesting pinch hitters as well, really getting out of yesterday's matches thanks to that grand slam home run mechanic. It's going to be interesting to see if, Freedom J and team can just lead it just straight, carnage style by getting like the most frags, or if Ohio State's going to use that more tactical game sense to alongside the Bragg House baseball rules to get the the most points total, even if they don't have the most frags.
And real quickly, I want to shout out Sweets TV in the chat. Divvy, thank you guys so much for following. We love that support over here at the Bragg House, showing us that you enjoy these tournaments, you love the content we're putting out for you, and making it possible for us to keep putting on great tournaments like this for you. And guys, even though this is the finals, it doesn't mean that we are done. Coming up in just a couple weeks, we have our Women's U.S. Cup, and that's going to be an all-women's tournament in Rocket League. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be just as crazy, if not more, than this tournament. We also have tournaments in other games like Valorant, Hearthstone, all these different things coming up. So make sure you follow us, turn on our notifications. That way you'll always know when we're streaming. And if you guys want to get involved, maybe you realize that you don't want to watch from the sidelines, you want to take part, represent your school, follow us on social media. You can type !social in the chat, and our Instagram and Twitter will pop up. That's where we put out all the information about when the tournaments are happening, how you guys can sign up, and we'd love to see some of you guys take part in our next one.
Yo, Ryan, I'm loving how the chat's going right now. People for calling out Freedom for does he really go to Virginia Tech, or did they just bring him in?
Yeah, we're gonna need to see a transcript.
Freedom J, you get no love for these people over here, but you always get love from me, dude. So I've interviewed you. I know you go to. I know you go.
I don't think he would ever question your love, Lavelle. Now, real quick, guys, Ohio State has turned up the volume a little bit. Aza Trail on the board with 3 runs now. Nick with 2. Meanwhile, Cherry has yet to bring anything to the scoreboard, but the team itself is now at 5, 1 behind Virginia Tech, tying it up pretty much with 30
Yeah, and
minutes left on the clock.
Right now from Virginia Tech, we're seeing Freedom J with every single run accumulated so far. Obviously he's in peak form as always, but I really would like to see the rest of the team get a little bit more involved. I'd feel a little bit more confident in their performance over the entire 45 minutes if I saw some runs coming in from Jamon and Chanderson. Meanwhile, a really interesting score breakdown for Ohio State. Nick Pepe and Astro, obviously very talented players. The whole Ohio State team is really even, but arguably their top fragger across the entire tournament is Before I Eat Cherries, and right now he's having a slow start to the match.
Well, that's a team that typically does, they start off a little bit slower and they start that steamroll, momentum, and they really get going. So I think that both of these teams, although they are both very high scoring teams, I think both of them kind of stay true to that time frame that we've kind of seen over the course of the entire tournament. It's usually that last 20 minutes. Both teams are now warmed up, they're playing together, especially game 1, and moving forward very, very aggressively.
Yeah, and something that's interesting, Matt, is, I completely agree. The last 20 minutes is when we've typically been seeing teams in this tournament really come alive. But, the teams that have had the most success are the ones that don't need to wait that long, the ones that can get it going from the start and just keep the pressure up. Because, these teams, they're watching the stream. They are always aware of what the score is. So if they can go down, if one team gets a big early lead, you are suddenly putting a ton of pressure on the other team to start trying to catch up. And that's a lot of pressure, and that pressure is hard to deal with, especially in such a confined time frame.
Absolutely. Now it's going to be interesting, and just over a week we have that women's tournament coming up, and when that women's tournament happens, we're bringing in some more athletes. I know Lavelle, yesterday you said that there's some professional women athletes. Bringing in athletes such as yourself, Ryan, always talking to people that have had that competitive, nature. They've been in that seat. It's really interesting to imagine what these guys are thinking and kind of what they're psyching themselves out with when they can't even see their competition. It's not like you're sitting across a court or sitting like one lane over. You're literally on the computer, so you just gotta keep it moving. I think yesterday we saw FSU's downfall in that final game. I think the last couple of minutes was a little bit more of a psych than anything else.
Yeah. We're really excited about the women's gamer thing coming up. And we've been giving teasers the entire time, man. And we're giving teasers the entire time, Matt. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's for a good cause. It's like bringing all these women gamers there. We'll drop a little bit more teasers of some exact people that are gonna be coming over here. But we have some all-star celebrities though.
Absolutely.
Guys,
I'm sure you guys will not disappoint. I know March Madness was insane. If you guys, didn't tune in, there was everything from cash giveaways, huge cash prizes, celebrity hosts. It was a great time. This is my second tournament co-hosting with the Bragg House guys. That brings me to my next point, which is we have more prizes to give away today. So make sure you're following. Make sure you guys are subscribing. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, it's super simple. You can hit subscribe and it's absolutely free. I want to give a huge shout out to Chris Keys in the chat for the follow. It looks like we have a couple other people. Lieutenant Breaker, thanks for the follow, man. Thank you so much. Honor Redort, thanks for the follow. We got a lot of followers, guys, so I appreciate all the love. That's the easiest way to see that we are doing something that you guys enjoy and we are able to produce more content for you guys to consume. So if you guys want to see more tournaments, make sure you hit that follow button. And also double your cash when we give away our prizes somewhere during this stream. Make sure you're paying attention because Lavelle is going to give a keyword, and when we get that keyword, you're going to have to type it in the chat for your chance to win. Now, we do have less than 30 minutes left. We're at 29 minutes, 33 seconds left on the clock. Ryan, what kind of update can you give us on what we're seeing from Virginia Tech and Ohio State?
Yeah, so right now we have our Oompa Loompas in the back. They're watching all of these live streams, except for one, Chanderson, having a little bit of technical issues. So we can only update his score at the end of the round for Virginia Tech, or at the end of each lobby. But, we're seeing a really tight game so far. 10-11 right now, Virginia Tech lead. And both these teams off to a hot start. 11-10 runs. They're on pace to get into that 30-run range across the entire tournament. And, that's something we've seen in most of these games, that the team that really breaks into that 30-run barrier is often the one that wins. Obviously, between two really strong teams like this, 30 runs might not be enough. But I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to keep up this momentum, as both teams are looking really strong right now, both getting squad wipes respectively.
I think they're both kind of finding that momentum a little bit earlier today. I know both were doing warm-ups right before the match started. For everybody just now joining us, for all you 207 viewers at home, guys, just want to give a huge shout-out. This is our final championship match. So this is game 1, best of 3. So we're going to see after this who takes the championship home. Thanks for tuning in. If you're just now tuning in, this is the Bragg House. And the Bragg House put on an awesome College World Series of Baseball esports tournament. And this is a very new thing for me. I'm a long time esports fan. First time I've seen colleges and college fandom wrapped into esports. Lavelle, could you tell us a little bit more about the Bragg House and how it works?
Absolutely. I mean, the Bragg House, we wanted to create a community around college sports, and that's always our first brag is the community. So we had a chance, obviously, as Matt Ryan mentioned, when COVID happened, we said, hey, what can we do to still embrace that community? So we created a platform that combines college sports. We're watching a College World Series right now with people battling it out to represent their schools.
And guys, I see a lot of people in the chat saying, how do we get in? How do we get involved? Unfortunately for this tournament, this is the final, so it's too late to get involved for this one. But the guys over at the Bragg House, we're putting on tournaments all the time. The best way to know when we have stuff coming up is follow us on social media. You can type in !social in the chat, and all of our different social media will pop up. And you can follow us there. We're posting information about when we're streaming, what tournaments we have coming up, how you can register and represent your school. So definitely make sure you give us a follow over there on those. Meanwhile, both these teams, Virginia Tech, they're back in the main lobby right now. Ohio State, they're still moving up, but they both got home runs there, reaching the top 50 players of their respective lobbies. So these bonus runs already coming in fast and early, and still Ohio State down 2 runs, but they have a little bit of an advantage here as they're still in the game, and it looks like they're going to be engaging in a fight right here as well. So, I know Ohio State's down 2 runs, but I might have to give a slight advantage to them right now. Just they have a little bit more time to get some runs before they have to back out. And another clutch squad wipe here from Before I Eat Cherries too, able to revive both of his teammates.
And in case you're new to the stream, realize that Ryan will always go against Virginia Tech. Just want to get that out there.
All right.
I'm kidding.
I think Freedom
we see
J
you all.
Definitely, he gave a response to, how Ryan was feeling the other day, man. He showed up yesterday. He said, don't underestimate us again. And they brought the noise. They absolutely destroyed yesterday, especially Freedom J. Really, really set it off. I think it's going to be really, really cool to see if they can keep that momentum today, because Cherries yesterday was subbed out, where It's a Tro and Nick both brought a lot of score to the board yesterday, a lot of runs, and they kind of jumped into that tactical, situation, playing into the rules very, very well. It's gonna be really a Freedom J and team effort today if they walk away with a win.
And it's really cool. We're seeing guys from the UCLA team that played Virginia Tech yesterday. Producing Juan in the chat saying he needs Virginia Tech to sweep so he doesn't feel bad about losing. I know Lavelle feels the same way, Juan. We got more guys. We're seeing Optimistic. Do we play console games or just PC? We do play a whole plethora of consoles and platforms. The reason actually we decided to offer Call of Duty Warzone for this tournament is because it is cross-platform. So that means we've had players from PC, PlayStation, Xbox. We might have even seen a Switch in here or there. Everyone able to participate and represent their school. So, we're all about inclusivity and community over here at the Bragg House, and we figured this is the best way to do it, and we have not been disappointed.
Absolutely, and I think this tournament has definitely, set the who's better console or PC, battle kind of to rest. I think Warzone was a really cool game for you guys to pick because of that dynamic. But it's interesting to see, both teams in this tournament and March Madness had players that were completely all over the place, PS4, Xbox, and PC, and still reach the very end of the tournament.
Yeah, we've had it many times, but that conversation about does that aim assist on console give these teams a little bit of an advantage? Does that aim and accuracy on PC make it easier for those players? But we haven't really seen, one console or, any PC players stand out above the rest. It's been a really even tournament. So, obviously really excited about all that. God, Ohio State, they're on a tear in this lobby right now. They know what is at stake, and they are not going quietly. They're looking great right now. Sweets TV in the chat saying UNC Wilmington will show up next time. I'd love to see that, buddy. Make sure you throw us a follow over there on social media so that way you guys know whenever we have tournaments coming up. And throw us a follow on Twitch. Turn our notifications on. We have, like you said, tournaments coming up for you guys all across the next few weeks. You're not going to want to miss out on those. They're going to be just as exciting, just as crazy, just as intense. So make sure you throw us that follow. Throw us that subscription and continue to check us out. Support us over here at the Bragg House.
Now, guys, we are getting just under halfway through this match. This is game 1 of 3, so if you're just tuning in, this is going to be an action-packed evening. We have at least one more game coming up, possibly a third to resolve a tiebreaker if we need. It's going to be an action-packed night. So before I eat cherries, big score on Ohio State. Virginia Tech, Freedom J, both really, setting the tone today. It's a Tro leading right above him with 6 and Nick with 8. So it's going to be 21 for Ohio State to 18 Virginia Tech. 22 minutes left on the board, and it could be anybody's game. We've seen both of these teams do 15, I think 20-plus points in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, and guys, Ohio State, they're just one life away in this lobby from getting that Grand Slam. Obviously Grand Slam is very hard to come by, but a way we can reward teams by staying in these lobbies and performing. And we're seeing that from Ohio State. They're looking great right now as they run this lobby. Of course, I say that, I jinx Cherries, he's going to go down. But he'll get revived, no problem. They have a strong position in this circle. They got the high ground. They're looking really good. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, they just got into a new lobby. So they're going to have a lot of opportunity, ample opportunity to get a lot of kills really quickly. Landing again at military base, they know what they like. They know what they feel comfortable with. And let's just hope that they can find some squads and kind of bring it back a little bit on Ohio State as they lead by 3 runs. And Matt, also, I want to point something else out to you. Before I eat cherries, he's got that thermal scope sniper out. That was something we kind of saw like the trademark of Fresh Fart from UCLA. But before I eat cherries, he has it out and he's been doing damage with it. Typically during this tournament, we've seen that the snipers haven't been as great a strategy. It's really hard to get those thirsts on people once you get them down. And even then, you typically don't want to engage long range if you're trying to rack up the kills. But he's been making it work so far.
Yeah, Fresh, I think he was the player that played with the snipe, the most. It's definitely a different, strategy to play more long range. C4 getting taken out by Ohio State right now. That's probably my favorite weapon of all the Bragg House tournaments. My favorite moments in both tournaments so far have been brought to you by C4 blocks on vehicles.
Yeah, and that's something we've actually not seen as much from Virginia Tech. Kind of their trademark is going around in vehicles, putting a lot of pressure on squads, getting around the map quickly, and popping out and getting those kills. As Freedom J here, he's going to be crawling for that revive from J-Mon. It's been interesting, especially because vehicles have been such a viable strategy in these tournaments.
Absolutely.
We've seen all these teams, when they decide to utilize those golf carts, those SUVs, going in and putting a lot of pressure on teams, racking up a lot of kills. And man, Ohio State, they are still crushing it right now. We might see the first game win, single lobby win of any team this tournament right here in this game. Typically teams have kind of been avoiding making it all the way to the very end because they want to get into a new lobby, get some fresh meat up there for them to kill. But these guys, they're committing to this lobby, and it looks like it's paying off. They have a lot of players concentrated in this tiny circle for them to move in on and get some easy runs. Something that we haven't considered though is if they do win this lobby, there's a pretty long cutscene at the end, isn't there?
Yeah, there is like a 10 to 15 second cutscene. I believe you can back out of it.
Okay, so if they can back out, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that they'd be sitting around to watch it. Who knows? Maybe they will. But I doubt that they're going to spend that time.
They might want to revel in the victory.
If they do get high enough of a score that they're walking out of this pretty much with a very guaranteed victory. That's a long shot. But if it happens, I would let it run.
And guys, almost 20 minutes in, almost 30 minutes in, these guys have been in the same lobby this entire match so far. That is unprecedented. And they have 31 runs already. They're on pace for an absolute monster performance right now. That is crazy. And they're still looking strong, and they're going to try and get this revive off here. And it looks like they're going to get it as they maintain pressure. Only 8 people left in the lobby. Ohio State, they came to play today. They're looking strong.
For the win.
And Shetty, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate you supporting the Bragg House, making it so we can keep on putting these tournaments for you guys, putting out content for you all. And Cherry's right now out of ammo and, right at the edge of this gas. He's going to have to try and quick scope if he wants any chance. And unfortunately, he's going to go down. The Gulag is killed. The Gulag's closed. Yeah. And that's going to do it for Ohio State. But still, 33 runs individually, not to mention the 4 bonus runs they got for getting a grand slam there. Insane performance by them right out the gate. And they have a 14-run lead right now, they have a 15-run lead right now over Virginia Tech, they're playing really well in their own right. But Ohio State, a huge first game for them, and exactly what they needed to do to take control, take the momentum, and really put a lot of pressure on these Virginia Tech Hokies.
It's getting close. We're under 20 minutes left, guys. So it's 17 minutes left on the clock right now. Freedom J leading Virginia Tech with 12. It's a Tro right now, tied with Nick, both bringing 13. Cherry has yet to really wake up and take that lead that we've seen him maintain almost every single other match. So 13 minutes is usually right around that time I start saying, okay, let's watch these guys close. They're about to start turning up the fire. So we're getting close to that time where we really start seeing both teams come alive. So make sure you guys are staying tuned. Make sure you guys are watching these gamers as they really start turning it up. Not only that...
Danny Fight Eye in the chat, we see you, man. You hate OSU. Join the crowd of people here who hate OSU. They're all called Virginia Tech fans.
I'm pulling, ever since Cup of Apple Juice fell in the semifinals with Florida State, Before I Eat Cherries has been my name of the tournament after that. So I got to ride for Ohio State. And, Matt, as you were saying, Before I Eat Cherries, only 7 runs right now, a little bit less than we've seen from him. But that's only because his teammates have been performing at an insane level right now. There's no kills for Cherries to get, and I think he's totally okay with that if it means that the whole squad is firing right now.
But I will say this though, he did play a very crucial part when he revived his teammates at some point. I think it was when they were in the 40s in that lobby.
Yeah, no, there's several times actually where Cherries was the last one up in his squad. He was able to get the squad wipe and pick up his teammates. And we have our Oompa Loompas in the back. They're refreshing the score for you all right now. Remember, we have a whole team in the background checking out every single stream up and making sure that these scoreboards are updated for you. Right now, we have 37-23, Ohio State over Virginia Tech, a 14-run lead. By no means insurmountable. Still a ton of time left on the board, and we've seen Virginia Tech get a lot more kills in a lot less time. But man, Ohio State, as they're just about to enter their second lobby, Virginia Tech's entering their third. A really, really strong performance so far by them. And still with a third of this match left.
And we're coming up on 15 minutes right there, and that means we're just a few minutes away from announcing what the keyword's going to be for this first match. We're going to do our giveaway during the break while the players prepare for game 2. So guys, tune in just a few minutes. We're going to be doing the keyword. Make sure you are listening because you're going to have to chat inside of the chat what the word that Lavelle announces is the keyword for match 1.
Right now we see Ohio State. They're going to be jumping in to their new game. I'm really curious to see if they're going to be able to keep up that performance from their first lobby. And they're dropping really hot right now. They're dropping in a way more populated area than they did last match, and they're getting the punches out. They're bullying the squad right now, and they're going to get a couple really quick runs just like that. So a strong start for Ohio State. Again, it looks like they're keeping up this momentum.
And guys, remember when we started the stream, we mentioned that we gave the teams their statistics throughout the matches, like to see like the performance each gamer had, to really figure out like what timeline, what lineup they want to have, subs and so on and so forth. It looks like it's paid off really well to Ohio State so far. Like I'm studying like what chemistry would work better between like the teammates.
Yeah, they've definitely been using like the higher game sense like amongst all the teams. You know, I've seen like they're using the game mechanic that you guys at the Bragg House came up with. They're using team strategies of doing pinch hitters off the bench. And I think in the last 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, you know, they're really using the team mechanic that you guys added for this tournament, where it's the 3-man squads. You know, they are using that to the fullest as well.
Now, and we see you in the chat, growing our channel fast. That's the goal, guys. We want to, get this content out to as many of you as possible. We believe in what we're doing, and based on all the support, we know you guys are as well. Sweets in the chat, do a quad tourney. That's up to the king, Mr. CEO Lavelle. But I'm sure it could possibly be in the cards. As Virginia Tech, they've landed back at military base. This is their home. They know that they can get some early runs here, as they have J-Mont in the helicopter. Meanwhile, Ohio State, gosh, they have one in the gulag right now, but they're going to complete a bounty right there. So it might be worth it. They're just so strong right now. It's going to be tough for Virginia Tech to come back on them. As our Oompa Loompas in the back, they're going to be updating the scores for you guys. And it looks like right now, these are our current scores: 39-23, a 16-run lead now for Ohio State. They're about to break into that 41, threshold. They're looking so good, guys.
They are looking very polished today. They were actually coordinating beforehand, warming up as a squad as well. So I think that they really came today, playing serious, but more importantly, playing as one.
Yeah, and that was the most important part of those semifinal rounds. In every single round so far, we've seen one key thing that put the teams that moved on ahead of the teams that did not. In the first round, it was what team was able to perform in the gulag and consistently win those 1v1s. Once we got to the second round, all those teams were performing in the gulag, so it became what team could really perform as a team. And yesterday we saw that in Virginia Tech's match against UCLA. UCLA, they were kind of branching out, doing some solo squad engagement. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, they were moving in a tight formation the entire game. Never let really any player get too far away. They were always able to help out in any fight. And that's arguably the most important thing in Call of Duty Warzone. If you go into a squad-on-squad matchup and you only have 2 people up against a squad of 3, there's a high likelihood you are not going to win that fight. So if you can go into every fight with 3 people performing as a team, you're going to win most of these encounters, most of these engagements, and we've been seeing that. We've been seeing that so far, and they're looking great.
Now OSU is connecting kills. They are going now at 41. They're at 41 points. Still 10 minutes, 44 seconds on the clock. I want to take a minute to give a shout out to a few of the guys in chat. Let's see. It looks like KSWB, 50 bomb incoming from OSU. I don't know when you wrote that, KS, but I think you foreshadowed it. I think it's pretty easy to predict with how these guys are playing that they're going to hit 50 bombs. These dudes are on fire. Sweets, I'd love to see the quad tourney, but like you said, up to Lavelle. Now, guys, the chat is going to be important because we are coming up on 10 minutes, and that means that it is time to do our first giveaway. So, Lavelle, if you have that secret keyword, if you have it ready to go, as soon as Lavelle announces that keyword, guys, you're going to write it inside of the chat. As soon as you guys write it inside of the chat, we are going to instantly start tallying up every single person. And when the match is over, we're going to announce our winner during break while we let the players prepare for game 2 out of 3.
Matt, so someone asked me, they said, what is that in your hand when we started the stream? And I said, as a true baseball guy, it's a Louisville Slugger. So my keyword is Louisville.
Oh,
All right,
man.
guys, you heard it there
Now,
first.
how do you spell that?
we threw it in chat for you guys who maybe haven't passed 5th grade English yet.
or the foreign ones between all of us.
Oh yeah, excuse me. Yeah, so guys, as Matt said, type in Louisville in the chat. We're gonna throw all your names into a raffle, and after this game is over, while we give both these teams a little bit of time to reset, reformulate their strategy, we are gonna pull the winner of that raffle and announce it in the chat. So make sure you're all listening. And when you do win, remember you can follow and subscribe to the Bragg House. If you do that, we will double your prize money. So make sure you throw us those follows. Make sure you throw us those subscriptions. And Dazed, thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate you supporting the Bragg House.
Now, guys, I want to mention something real quick. The highest score we've had in the tournament so far was 47 runs, including home runs and grand slams. I think Ohio State are going to break the record in this match for our tournament.
Yeah, Daniel, as you said, 47 runs by TCU in their first round matchup against Florida State. They had one game where they just popped off. And Ohio State, they're at 44 right now with still 8 minutes left. They're going to be heading to the gulag, but,
They make fast work in the gulag, though. I saw, it's Tro, Nick, both yesterday winning gulags. Cherries has done some of the most, I guess you could say, almost parkour-like, wins inside of the gulag. He's a big fan of running, jumping on the floor, jumping up against walls and stuff like that. I think their whole team just lost, so now they're gonna have to back out and then go into a fresh match with 7 minutes, 48 seconds left on the clock. Not the best thing to see happen, but at this point, with this kind of a score, I don't know if Virginia Tech's gonna be able to pull it out in the rest of this game unless they'd have to get a grand slam and a ton of kills.
yeah.
I wanted to address in the comments. Someone asked, why do y'all do esports with sports? I mean, we, think about the love that you have for your school. We try to combine a community around college sports. So, look at these people here. We got people banging it out for Virginia Tech, Ohio State just going off and doing it for the Ohio State, that pride. So that's why we do it.
And
guys,
let's be honest, man. Are you going to go to a sports game right now? Because I haven't seen any schedule in the last 6 months. There are no college sports happening right now, and Bragg House came up with an awesome way to still link college sports in. Now I know that you guys did have a traditional March Madness bracket. You guys started as a traditional college sports, community and college sports hub. And I know that's still very much the mission, but you guys found esports, and I know Lavelle in our March Madness bracket. You said you guys are going to keep diving into esports, but esports was really just kind of something that you guys happened onto when you guys were already an established college sports hub.
I don't want to say we happened onto it, but we did. But you are right, Matt. We had planned it for a lot later, and we kind of just got the perfect platform to just kind of advance it forward a lot sooner. And it's kind of I think it combines both worlds, like esports and college sports. So, we've been really happy. Another thing is, Matt, we always listen to what people say. So please, get in the chat, follow us, as Ryan said, subscribe to us, and, let us know the ways we can make it better, because we're trying to make it for you guys.
Absolutely. And, guys, the easiest way to get involved with the Bragg House is, following them on Twitch. On Twitch, they have a huge presence. They're going to be doing another esports tournament in just under a week. Not only that, but they also have a website where I see that Proud Rattle just made a web account yesterday. The Bragg House also has a huge community on their website, based around college sports, where you guys can talk everything college sports and esports. It looks like a few people have already caught on to the fact that you can do !social to find the Bragg House on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Super easy to find them online, guys. So make sure you stick up to date, because we have another tournament, like they said, coming up in a week. And they are the biggest college sports hub for esports. In fact, I think you guys are the only college hub for esports. But this is so innovative. If you guys like what you're seeing, if you're just now figuring out what esports is, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you follow us on social so you guys can see our next tournament next week.
And guys, with just 5 minutes left, Virginia Tech, they're at Quarry right now, and they're doing their darndest right now to get as many runs as they can. They're making a good push right now. Freedom J with 5 runs in this lobby so far. But Ohio State, they're just getting back into a game right now, so they're going to have an opportunity to get that 50 bomb, as we were talking about earlier, and really hold off Virginia Tech. kind of, hit the dagger, so to speak. So, it'll be interesting to see as Ohio State drops in here. Hot drop on the quarry. And they know they only have 4.5 minutes left, so this hot drop probably their best play if they're going to get as many runs as possible.
Now, I see that they're at 45. 4 minutes, way more than enough time to get 5 kills, especially for this group of guys. And once they're dropped and, they're picking a hot spot, they're picking an area where a lot of people drop. I don't know if anybody dropped with them. I didn't catch it. Did you, Ryan?
Yeah, there are a few squads that landed on the other side of quarry, so they're going to run through, loot up real quickly, and then probably engage with just 4 minutes remaining. And we see you guys in the chat. Prowl, thank you so much, saying he's been home for 30 minutes. We appreciate that. Obtab, thank you so much for the follow, supporting the Bragg House. We love seeing that from you guys, helping us continue to put on these tournaments for you. My sweet boy, you are the best. You are my sweet boy. And guys, we love seeing all this love in the chat, and keep showing love for these teams. Ohio State, Virginia Tech especially right now. They need your support, as it looks like they're going to be going down early in this finals, 0-1.
Now, guys, it is best out of 3, so we do have another game coming up right after this. In the meanwhile, we are going to be handling our giveaway during the break, so make sure you stay tuned. We're going to be doing our giveaway for one lucky viewer, and not only that, but the Bragg House has a ton more stuff to give away over the course of this tournament, and they have some huge prizes in store for their soccer tournament starting in just over a week. Now, we have 2 minutes, 53 seconds left on the board. Ryan, can you walk us through the rest of this game and call it out for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Ohio State right now, they're pushing up on their bounty target into the back building of quarry. They know that they're inside. They had that UAV up. That's just gone away, but now they're pushing hard. They see that they're like so close to this 50 bomb. They want to get it, and they're going to get the first down right there. One of their players, Asho, he's almost dead. But, luckily they got that down. He's going to have a chance to regenerate that health and hopefully armor plate up if they can pick up a couple here. Meanwhile, they're going to push up, trying to engage the rest of the squad. They only got one, and they're going to be moving up. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, they're also pursuing a bounty contract, and they know they need to get as many kills as possible. This is the best way to do it. They have the high ground over them, and Freedom J is going to start raining down that sweet, sweet hellfire on them, trying to get any kills he can. One of his teammates is going to go down. The other going to get sent to the gulag. So right now it's just Virginia Tech all alone up on this hill. He's trying to hold off. He breaks the armor, but he's going to get knocked and finished. He'll be going to the gulag with just 2 minutes left. Meanwhile, Ohio State, they picked up their bounty target. So now they're going to be moving out, trying to get another bounty contract with just under 2 minutes remaining in this game. Pushing through quarry as we see Freedom J preparing to fight in the gulag. He's going to have one of his teammates, Jamon, up right before him. And he's fighting right now in the gulag. And it looks like he got redeployed. Yeah, so that's another run added to Virginia Tech's total right here. They're going to need everyone they can get. Freedom J moving up strong, confidently up the right side of this gulag match. He's aiming, watching these corners, and he catches his opponent on the far side of the gulag, hits those shots as he always does. He'll be getting redeployed now too with just under a minute and a half remaining. Ohio State, meanwhile, they have one member down. They're searching hard for this squad that has terrorized their teammate.
I think at this point they really want the 50.
Yeah, they really want the 50. They know that they're only a couple runs away, and they're hungry. They're pushing for it, and they have a minute left to do it. I do believe, our Oompa Loompas obviously in the back trying to update these scores for y'all. They're going to do all they can. But, and it looks like they're going to willingly go to the gulag. This is a really interesting strategy, something we've only seen once before in this tournament. I believe it was by Ohio State.
I believe it was by Ohio State, yeah. It was Ohio State.
Where they willingly go to the gulag to get them an easier opportunity at some kills.
It's only
40
3
seconds.
frags, though.
Yeah, it is only three frags, but, updating these scores in the back, I believe they only need 2 to get that 50 bomb. So, as we have 25 seconds remaining, it looks like they get 1 in the gulag. The other one's going to be fighting. I'm not sure they're going to have enough time to get into a gulag match before the time runs out. They've already broken our single game team record for runs this tournament.
Going for 50,
that was 47 by TCU. They now currently have 48 on the board right here for them.
And that is time, guys. That is time.
Oof.
So
our Oompa Loompas in the back, they're going to be updating these final scoreboards for you, but we know who won. Ohio State with a dominating Game 1 performance.
Absolutely, totaling it out at 48-37 over Virginia Tech. Now that is Game 1, guys. That is Game 1 of 3. So Virginia Tech yesterday, Ryan, let's dive into this real quick. Virginia Tech yesterday had a little bit of a tough time getting started, came back, with a vengeance swinging. I think that, Freedom J is probably going to do the same thing today, rally the troops, get them together, and then really try to push, for the dub. They have to win this next one. If they don't win this next one, there won't be a game 3. So it all comes down to what Freedom J, J-Mon, and CH Anderson are able to do.
Yeah, and Matt, you said it. They did have a tough time getting started yesterday, but this wasn't it. Virginia Tech, this might have been, this is maybe like their second or third best performance of the tournament so far. 37 runs, that is more than enough to have you win most games. It is by no means a bad performance, but Ohio State, they absolutely popped off with that strong first lobby performance, getting, like 37 runs or something just in that first lobby alone. They had that grand slam too for 4 bonus runs. Virginia Tech having 2 home runs, but not enough. I would like to say that Virginia Tech didn't play well or anything like that, but they did. They played really well, and it's it's something that we've talked about a lot in this tournament, right? Like, how can you perform when you have no control over how your opponent performs? In a lot of games, a lot of sports, you're going head to head with your opponent. But in things like track, things like swimming, it's really just up to your own performance because you can't control how the other team does. Virginia Tech, they, props to them. They did everything they could there. That was an absolutely phenomenal game. But Ohio State just, the better team that game.
Guys, you know how at the beginning of the match we were saying that Ohio State might have a sub, they're planning a surprise for match number 2. We got the official note in the back end that they're staying. Not with much surprise, to be honest.
Yeah, that one doesn't shock me.
Going for the win. Going for the win. Now, guys, real quick, I do want to go back. We do have a giveaway that we owe to all the braggers at home, guys. And if you're just now joining us, we are giving away prizes over the course of this entire stream. These dudes at the Brag House are madmen. They love giving away cash. Not only that, but they made it easy to double your cash. Steal the cash from them. They are pretty much asking you to take it from them. All you have to do is hit that purple button right below the stream, and you're going to double up. Now, I know we have a raffle winner. Daniel, in the middle of crunching all the numbers in the back, making sure that we had up-to-date scores, had our teams crunch everyone who typed in Louisville into the chat. Again, that's how we do the giveaways here on stream. Lavelle comes up with a word, you guys write in chat, and somebody on our team picks a random person who types it in. And our winner for our first giveaway of the night is Matt Cho 8. Matt Cho 8, email us at events@thebraghouse.com, and we're going to make sure you get your prize money. Not only that, but if you're a follower or a subscriber, we're going to double that prize money for you guys. So if you haven't already followed us, make sure you guys follow us. Make sure you guys drop that sub. It really helps us know that we are doing content you guys want to see more of. And, Ryan, you said something really interesting about the competition. And, you can't really see, the opposite team. You can't see who's, you're playing against. Team sports like basketball, soccer, they're very much about being on the same court, the same field with your competition. And next week, you guys have this Rocket League tournament coming up where it's going to be soccer teams playing head-to-head against each other to see who is going to be the king of the Brag House. And I'm assuming what you guys are just calling your soccer cup, soccer tournament. When you guys, launch that, are you guys planning on doing head-to-head tournaments? Maybe Lavelle, you could answer us.
We have kind of a similar of a bracket system. I'm gonna let Daniel though, because Daniel is the soccer fanatic though in the group, kind of explain how we're gonna structure that one.
Yeah, sure, Lavelle. So for those of you who are more familiar with soccer or football in Europe, especially in the Champions League, it always go by double elimination, but not as in the same sense double elimination as it goes right now for this tournament. It's going to be 2 matches per 2 teams, and the scores are actually going to be aggregated. For example, it's essentially the equivalent of having a match at home versus and then the second match away. And let's say first match ended 3-1 and then second match ended 3-3. The team that actually got that one goal on the first match, now the aggregate is essentially 4-3, and that's why they're moving forward. That's like in a very brief abbreviation of how that's gonna kind of work. And then we're going to have the plus 4 teams going into semifinals, which then obviously from that, finding out who's going to be the actual champions of that tournament.
So that sounds like a lot of action-packed fun. I know you guys have celebrity pros that you guys are bringing in well. It's also all women's tournament that is benefiting communities and nonprofits, which I think it's absolutely awesome of you guys. Now I want to take it to the chat real quick. Just give a shout out to all the huge Bragg House fans out there, guys. First off, I want to say thank you. So much action in that last game. You guys were showing tons of love for these teams. We're gonna need to see some more VT love. We're going to have to get them riled up if we're going to see them come back and win Game 2 to guarantee a Game 3. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for Game 2 to get started, wanted to give a shout out to a couple of different people. Voilds Satir, thanks for the follow. That means a lot to us. It looks like Speedy, you asked, do we make the merch in our store? We actually get together every night after we're done streaming and sew together. It's our hobby. It's kind of like an emotional support group for men. No, man, we work with a merch company. We try to find good, partners that make quality merch. Obviously, we stick to what we know best, college sports. And, what we focus on is building out the Bragg House platform. And we partner with brands that make awesome merch, but we buy it ourselves, we test it, we make sure that it's comfy. So if you buy a shirt, I guarantee you it's comfortable, or you can get your money back by simply shipping it back. So guys, feel free to check out the merch store. Speedy, thanks for checking it out. There's Bragg House stickers, Bragg House t-shirts, fitted hats. If you want to rep the Bragg House, we want to make that happen. So we made all different types of colors and fits for you guys. Let's see. Divik asks, if VT wins, will Lavelle shave his head? Absolutely not. Do you see how majestic that hair looks? Are you serious? It's like it's an insured business asset. Are you crazy, sir? No.
Jimmy, at Lavelle's age, he's not going to have too much of it left, so he's got to hang on to anything that he can.
No. Offer Thrasher just giving us a follow. Awful Pargan saying this is different for you guys. Yeah, this is a little bit different. This is baseball. The last one was March Madness, so that was basketball. And just a week from now, guys, we have the soccer one coming up, which that is going to be huge. Sweets TV saying VT's taking it easy. Definitely not the right time to be taking it easy. So we're going to see what they have to do. They're going to have to wake up and really bring it during that next game.
I also want to give a quick shout out to the chat. If you were interested in someone to host and co-host our liaison, we just lost a person. That guy was Ryan. So we're in the market for someone else. If you're interested in the job to co-host with the three of us, please let us know.
Oh man, bring the hair into it.
It's time I moved on to bigger and better things anyway, Lavelle. I agree.
Ooh. Now, believable, Bolivier C? I don't even know. I'm sorry.
Believable every C, I think.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. What are we doing to dive into more content? Well, we did March Madness basketball. This is the World Series of Baseball tournament, and next week we actually have two new things. Not only is it the first ever, soccer esports tournament involving college teams, but it's also literally the exact same game. Rocket League is a soccer game. You're scoring on a goal. It's teams with defenders, strikers, midfielders. Not only that, but the Bragg House doubled down and made it a second innovation. It's the first ever all-girls esports tournament, and it's also all benefiting charity. If that's not a triple win, I don't know what is. So guys, if you haven't seen Rocket League, if you haven't tried seeing esports and soccer, that will probably, in my opinion, be the easiest way to see sports and esports kind of blended together. It's very, very familiar to traditional soccer.
And guys, I think it's just about time to announce our winner for the giveaway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We did already announce it. We will say it one more time. Matt Co8, if you didn't already email us, or Cho8, if you didn't already email us, make sure you email us. We typed it in the chat above. It's events at the Bragg House. But make sure you guys send us an email once you guys win. And again, if you're a follower, if you're a subscriber of the Bragg House, we're going to double your prize money, guys. Easy win.
Yeah, my bad, guys. I misspoke. Meant to say how to claim it. I saw you in chat, Macho. My apologies. And, as we're getting into this game 2 in 5 minutes, Matt, do you have a couple of key pointers you would like to give Virginia Tech, try and tie the series up and send it to a game 3?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that just from watching both teams last game, we saw Freedom J, Jamon, C.H. Anderson all play over the last couple of days. C.H. Anderson finally brought 6 points in that last game. his highest scoring game of the entire series so far. Jamon had 8. Freedom J had 19. Freedom J I think needs to just keep doing him, but he also needs to make sure his team is moving as one. I think he has the highest game sense and probably the highest accuracy on his team. He needs to work with Jamon and CH Anderson to make sure that they keep bringing it. Now, yesterday, Freedom J hit his second game and absolutely steamrolled it. So we're going to have to see if he can do that same thing. And if Jamon and CH Anderson can really just follow his lead and go where the frags are at and listen to his game sense, I think that they won't have a problem guaranteeing that we see a game 3 tonight. Meanwhile, we have It's a Tro and Nick both dropping it yesterday, absolutely on fire. And then today, 17 and 18 runs each. They also had 1 grand slam. And before I eat cherries, who has been Ohio State's top fragger, last game just had 9. So I think that if he is able to bring it up a little bit, that trio right there is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I totally agree. Both these teams, and it's like I said at the end of the game, both these teams, performing really like a team. CH Anderson with 6 runs. That's among the higher run totals we've seen from him this tournament. Jamont with a very respectable 8. Freedom J with 19. I think the biggest thing and something that has been where we've seen Virginia Tech run into trouble is when they have the other team has one guy that can just match Freedom J, one guy that can keep up. For that and Ohio State in game 1, that was Nick Pepe with 19 runs, absolutely popping off, his best performance of the tournament by far. And Astro was 17 right behind him. It all kind of clicked there for Ohio State. It all clicked. Everything was coming together. Everyone was performing. And, if they can keep this momentum rolling, they are going to be impossible to beat. 49 runs, the highest run total of the tournament so far in any individual game. Man, I would be sweating a little bit if I were Virginia Tech fans in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, those are both, really high scoring, numbers. 37, 49 are both, really high scores, in comparison to some of our other teams throughout the tournament. I think that it's going to be a lot of action in this one, but I'm going to have to go with Ohio State. I don't know if it's because of how much Lavelle loves Freedom J or if it's because, I just saw their first game, I saw their warm up. But I think Ohio State's ready to close this up.
Did we not watch the same thing? I remember. Is there a rewind function on our thing? I remember Ryan saying, "Oh, UCLA just destroyed. They destroyed. I cannot see him coming back." And then Ryan was like this. Oh. Yep, they came back.
All right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Lavelle, is Ohio State lost their first game against Florida State and came back in games 2 and 3 too. So we know Ohio State can close. We know Ohio State can close. I agree with Matt.
Hit that rewind button. UCLA winning this whole thing did not.
I do remember that.
I'm agreeing with Matt. Ohio State is going to win game 2 here. They're going to put it away. They just look too strong right now. UCLA, there was a whole day in between their game 1 and game 2 and 3 performances.
Oh, wow. That's what okay.
But Ohio State,
the sun rose, the moon came up between those
games. They're going to come through. I'm putting all my faith in Ohio State right now. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it in the chat. Jack Hoagies, K Booba, they're already talking crap. For shooting one for UCLA, he's defending himself in the chat right now. He was saying that they were lagging. That had to be it. I know there's no other reason why they wouldn't have won that series.
Now, guys, we are coming up just 1 minute away from our next game getting started. So, want to just clue in real quick. This is Game 2 of the College World Series of Baseball, brought to you by the Bragg House. Ohio State, Virginia Tech. Going into Game 2, Virginia Tech has to beat Ohio State, or the series is over.
Oh man, I'm not even playing and I'm nervous. I'm playing and I'm nervous. These guys. I've been in their position before, albeit not in the finals, and that's something else that we're not talking about. Yeah. This is a rematch of our March Madness tournament finals. Ohio State, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech got the better of Ohio State last time. So, this is kind of like a revenge tour right now for Ohio State. They've gone through some battles to get here. kind of like LeBron James hailing from Cleveland, Ohio. They've had to struggle to get here, but they're on this revenge tour right now, and I think they're going to tear it up.
Oh, did you drop the LeBron analogy?
Look, hey, Lavelle, if you hate LeBron, be my guest. Keep rooting for Virginia Tech.
Now, guys, real quick, just want to throw out there, we are officially underway. Both teams in their first lobby. One already going into a warm-up. The second one just now finding their game. It looks like they still need to get into a warm-up. So Virginia Tech's going to have about a 15-second head start on the ground. We have 44 minutes, 23 seconds left on the clock. Let's get it started. Virginia Tech has to pull it out right here.
Absolutely, I agree. And Dawson saying, does Daniel know who LeBron is? He saw
Really?
Daniel's face during
Really?
that conversation in the Zoom chat. He was like, oh man.
No, I was looking at something else for a second there, so of course I know who LeBron is. Come on, give me a little bit more credit.
I think everybody in the
But he's
world
not that
knows
if
who
it was a
LeBron James
baseball,
is.
if it was a baseball player, I probably wouldn't know. That's just being honest.
Oh, that's what we got
Fucker,
Lavelle
though.
here for.
That's why I'm here. Dad Edler, thank you for the follow. We really, really appreciate it.
Man, Lavelle, thank you for saying that one because I had no idea how to pronounce that name. I was looking at like that Tedler, like what's going on here?
If I ever don't...
Dawson, Dawson repping the Nationals, same here, buddy. DC repping, I appreciate that. Speedy, unfortunately, you did not win the giveaway. That went to Ben Cho. However, we are not done with the giveaways. We have more coming up for y'all. And
Max show.
yeah, during this stream, during this game too. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Make sure you're listening because we are going to give you another keyword to put into the chat later this match. And we're giving away prizes all day. If you're in the chat and you don't have a team to root for, I'd root for Virginia Tech just so we go to a game 3 and there's more
More giveaways.
giveaways. Yeah.
That's
Chris
a fair
Keys.
point there, Ryan.
Chris Keese, we see you in the chat. Hearthstone attorney, please. Hearthstone is my favorite game, so I'm going to fight tooth and nail. I know that I didn't win Lavelle's job with my UCLA bet, but I'm still going to fight tooth and nail for that Hearthstone tournament. I know he's not going to like me saying that. We don't want to commit to anything, but I love that game.
And guys, it's worth noting that Freedom J and Nick Pepe had the same amount of runs in match number 1. Did Freedom is match? Is that what's happening in this tournament, in this final?
Well, we've seen that a couple times in this tournament so far where Freedom J and Virginia Tech, they struggle when the other team has 1 or 2 players that can kind of play at a similar level. That happened in game 1 against UCLA with Fresh and Protruding Juan both matching Freedom J in runs. And again here in game 1 of this final series, both Cherries and Nick Pepe both right with Freedom J in terms of run count. That's gonna be a struggle, and it was like we were saying earlier. You can't control your other team's performance. Freedom J is just gonna have to step it up even more. We know he can. He
definitely do it
and carry his team. Yeah.
Hey Lavelle, I have a question for you. Is there an equivalent term for like an assist like in basketball but in baseball? I know it's a silly question, but
An assist like in basketball?
yeah.
I mean, it's not a silly question. I just don't know what a comparison would be to an assist.
Oh yeah, I'm trying like maybe like a double play, kind of an assist there, like that second to first base throw.
I mean, a good fielding.
Yeah, doing their job. And guys, we see you in the chat. We appreciate it. Wrathful, we do Twitch often. We throw on a whole bunch of tournaments for you guys all the time, so make sure you throw us a follow, turn our notifications on, and follow us on social media. You can go !social in the chat to see all of our social media. And that way you'll know whenever we are hosting a tournament, whenever we're live on Twitch, and also how to register for these tournaments, represent your school. And Chris Keys, he's saying he'll go hard on some Forza. That is definitely that would be an interesting game to do a tournament in for sure. Lake and Game, you want to do a CS:GO tournament? We might not be doing CS:GO, but we got some Valorant tournaments in the works for y'all. Pretty much the same thing, just with cool superpowers involved. So do not worry, guys. We are all about producing content for you guys over here at the Bragg House, and we're going to continue to be doing that for you guys. As Virginia Tech and Freedom J in the Gulag early, Freedom J, he's been really strong in these gulags, and he's at it again, getting that kill. He's going to have a run to his name and go redeploy into the game, meet up with his teammates. And our Oompa Loompas in the back, refreshing that scoreboard for you. Right now, we have 2-1 Ohio State. A little slower start than we saw last game, but I'm sure these teams, as we saw in the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, will pick it up.
Ryan, how do you say that in the chat? In Ed partner?
Oh, yeah, in Ed partner. Thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. What else do we have? Sweet saying Valorant, let's go. I totally agree, man. I've been playing it a little bit on my own stream. It is a really good time. I personally love Main and Sage. She is the bomb. Awful Pargan saying lame choice of gun. That's the kind of trash talk we love to see. These two teams, they've made it far enough to get into the finals, but they don't know how to pick a gun. I'm personally in agreement.
I mean, the MP7 is definitely not my top choice, but in a situation like that where you're just really trying to get whatever you can to upgrade from a pistol, it's not a bad choice either,
Yeah, no, I mean, and they've been making it work for sure. In UCLA right now, it looks like they're going to be moving up, trying to get this supply contract, get some more money, get a loadout drop, get some custom weapons in, maybe even pick up a UAV. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech, they're right at military base again, man. They really feel comfortable there. They've been dropping there every single game so far. And they're just now moving out, looking for some more runs, looking to feast a little bit on this lobby. And Matt, you were saying we have a ton of tournaments, a ton of esports stuff going on, but Matt and Lavelle, that's not all the Bragg House is. The Bragg House is way more than that. Lavelle, can you share a little bit about who we are over at the Bragg House?
Absolutely, Ryan. Bragg House has always been about community, guys. We want to focus all these communities around college sports. So, I mean, we have traditional sports. We have so many things that we want to bring. We do community events. We had a fraternity thing going on where we donate a lot of things to charity. Anything that we can do around our community, we try to do that. So this is just one of the things that I think is pretty awesome. And we just want to make sure that, that everyone gets a chance to be part of that community. And Ryan, can you tell them a little bit about, I guess, the rules and stuff of how we did this particular match?
Yeah, and so guys, as you all know, due to the COVID-19 situation in the world right now, there are no college sports going on, no professional sports, and us being huge college sports fans, it's left a huge void in our everyday lives. So, were we going to sit around and just let that happen? No. The guys over at the Bragg House, we decided we're going to do something. We're going to find a way to put out a kind of mix of college sports content that we're all missing and infuse it with esports, which is something everyone can do from the safety of their own home. And what we did is we came up with the Esports College World Series. That's what this is right here. And the Esports College World Series is meant to fill that void of the College World Series not taking part. And we've even were able to implement a bunch of different kind of baseball rules into the tournament to make it feel more like college sports, more like college baseball. A few of the ways we did that are in every single kill that these players get counts as one run, just like in baseball. And those runs, whatever team has the most of them at the end of the game, at the end of their 45-minute period, wins the game. And it's not just that. We also have incorporated home runs and grand slams. And how those work are, whenever a team lives into the top 50 players in the lobby, then their team will be assigned a home run. And what that does is it gives 2 bonus runs to their squad's total. If any of those players then go on to live in the top 20 players in the lobby, that home run becomes a grand slam. And instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4 bonus runs. And so we've already seen a little bit of that in the last game, Game 1, Virginia Tech with 2 home runs. That gave them 4 bonus runs added to their squad's total at the end of the game. And of course, Ohio State with their dominant 49-run performance, they had a grand slam, a rare grand slam. So they got 4 bonus runs added to their total as well. And these home runs and grand slams, didn't so much in Game 1, but they've been making a huge difference in determining the outcome of these games all across the tournament so far in every single round.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams have utilized that mechanic at one point or another to get here into this final match. And again, as Ryan was just saying, this is Game 2. So Virginia Tech has to get the win here if they want to see a Game 3. Ohio State swept them in Game 1, setting the tone for the day. I think Virginia Tech has a lot of that psych out that Ryan was mentioning earlier today and yesterday. I think that really, they're going to have to use the Grand Slam home run mechanic to make up for the lack of frags if Ohio State goes on a slaughter path like they did just a few minutes ago. And I know, Ryan, you were mentioning earlier today, it comes down a lot to, the gameplay and really, how the teams are utilizing, team tactics, and I definitely agree with that. I think that we're seeing both of them do it here today. Traditionally, Ohio State's been one of the better strategy teams, but I think both of them are really trying to, play at their all today. I think Ohio State just brought a little bit more fire to game one.
Hey guys,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And our own Balloomba's in the back right now. They're going to be updating the scores for us as we get those updated for you guys. Ohio State, again, just like in game one, they're off to a pretty hot start, and they're still in their first lobby. And we saw that in game one. They were able to ride that first lobby out for like the first 25, 30 minutes of the game and rack up 37 runs in that lobby alone, which was huge. And to put a ton of pressure on Virginia Tech, they were able to get that grand slam early, add to their run total by a huge margin. And we're seeing that already as Virginia Tech, they're in the warm-up lobby of their second game right now. Meanwhile, Ohio State, I say that as he gets sent to the gulag, but they're still looking pretty strong in this lobby.
Absolutely. And right now the score is updated to Ohio State 8, leading against Virginia Tech 4. Virginia Tech has to step it up if they are gonna win this.
Yeah, and Ohio State 8 runs right now, and as you look, a strong team performance, very evenly spread out. Cherries with 3, Astro with 3, and Nick Pepe, love that name too, with 2 runs. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech only got 4 runs in that first lobby. So seeing a little bit more action from C.H. Anderson there. He's starting to maybe come alive a little bit in this game too. That's going to be really important for Virginia Tech. They're going to have a chance to win this tournament and come back, force a game 3. Freedom J, only 2 runs in that first lobby. A rare sighting, kind of underperforming a little bit there, but knowing him, I'm sure he won't be quiet for too long.
I mean, we are at 33 minutes left. We just hit the 32-minute mark. So, guys, it could be anybody's game. Ohio State, Virginia Tech, both, fans of getting that 15-minute, 13-minute, real, fire in them and getting it rolling. It's such a close game, and I think, Freedom J, last round, he really, started the exact same games, the exact same way, and then, just a few minutes into it, started really getting those frags together. I mean, we could see him bring 40, 50 points to the board by himself, I think. It's really going to come down to, how him and his team can play together.
And guys, we see you in the chat. Ingare, what's up, bro? How are you doing? Scherster wondering how does he enter the contest? What we are going to be doing is we're going to be dropping a keyword sometime during this game. And what you're going to do when you hear that keyword, we'll let you know. You type it into the chat, and we'll put them all into a raffle. If at the end of the game, we will, call out the winner of that raffle, and you win just free money. It's the easiest money you'll ever receive. And that's not all. If you choose to follow and subscribe to Bragg House, which we would really appreciate, helping support us and continue putting on tournaments like this. If you choose to follow and subscribe, then what we'll do is we'll double the amount of money that you win. So just like that, you go from winning, some money to a ton of money. All you gotta do is follow. All you gotta do is subscribe, which you can do for free if you have Twitch Prime. And we see you, Fenny. Do we only play Warzone? No. We have a bunch of different game tournaments coming up that we're really excited about. We've already talked about a couple. We have a Rocket League one coming up in a little bit. We have other Call of Duty tournaments coming up. We have stuff like Hearthstone and Valorant all in the works. So make sure you throw us a follow on our social media. You can go !social in the chat to see all of that. And make sure you throw us a follow as well on Twitch. Turn our notifications on so you know when we're streaming and putting out these tournaments for y'all. And how is this baseball? We've already gone over this a couple times, but I'm happy to go over it again. Due to the coronavirus canceling the College World Series, what we decided over at the Bragg House is to try and fill that college sports void that has been left in all of our hearts. We've decided to put on this tournament, kind of mixing Call of Duty and baseball. That way, you can get that college sports feel from the safety of your own home by implementing esports. And we have a few ways of implementing baseball into this tournament. The first is that every kill counts as 1 run. And those runs go to the team's total. Whatever team has the most runs at the end of this 45-minute period will win the game. As well as that, we are also giving teams the opportunity to score home runs and grand slams, which if you're familiar with baseball, you know all about those. A home run in Call of Duty is when any member of your squad lives into the top 50 players of a lobby. They will suddenly be assigned a home run. They'll earn their squad 2 bonus runs. And that's not all. If any of those players then live into the top 20 players in the lobby, that home run becomes a grand slam. And just like that, instead of 2, they get 4 bonus runs. So, these home runs, these grand slams, they've been coming in. They've been making a huge difference in these games so far. And, it's really been an interesting, innovative way for the Bragg House to come through and, put on this great tournament for you guys.
Absolutely.
Ryan,
And, somebody who's not a huge fan of traditional baseball, it helped me kind of learn the rules of baseball and how baseball works, which is really exciting. And I just want to say real quick, Sweets TV in the chat asking if it costs money to join a tournament. No, all you have to do is email events@thebragghouse.com and you can get your school signed up. And then Suff is asking favorite Warzone player in the chat.
We can throw that one to Lavelle.
I think we already know the
who he'll
answer.
pick. Yeah.
First name Freedom, last name Jay.
Boom.
Just want to get that out there.
In case you didn't already know, his favorite player is Freedom J. But with that being said, Virginia Tech right now down 5-11. Ohio State's leading. Virginia Tech right now, Freedom J with 2 runs. J-Man still with 0. C.H. Anderson bringing 3 to the board. Meanwhile, Ohio State a little bit more of a even spread. Before I Eat Cherries with 4 runs. It's a Tro with 4. Nick with 3, but going after his 4th as we speak. Way closer, I think, to probably getting a grand slam as of right now than Virginia Tech, who just dropped into another game, but has 2 players down, only 1 alive.
Yeah, and as you said, Ohio State, they just got into home run territory. There are only 49 players left in their lobby, so they're going to be getting a little 2 bonus runs added to their total, which is going to be big right now as they try and maintain this lead over Virginia Tech. And we see you guys in the chat. We see Speedy Blues. Thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. Speedy Dies. Thank you. We do throw these tournaments on all the time. That's why you gotta make sure to follow, turn our notifications on so you know when we're gonna be streaming these. We have our Oompa Loompas. I know you guys are tired of hearing it, but we have them in the back. They're updating the scores right now for you guys. They're watching all of the streams, so that way we can get you the most up-to-date scores as possible. And right now, we're going to get these updates in, and it looks like Ohio State, they're going on a little bit of a run right now in this lobby. They're up to 17 runs. Virginia Tech only at 9. C.H. Anderson, their top fragger right now with 5 runs. That's an unheard of sight. Anyone on Virginia Tech outscoring Freedom J, but I'm sure Freedom J is appreciative of it.
Ohio State getting down to the iron sights right now from across the river.
Yeah, no, their aim has been absolutely on point so far, across the whole tournament, but today in particular, the only issue is right now, Cherry's kind of running low on ammo. He's struggling a little bit in that.
Pulls out the LMG though. He's ready.
Affected, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate it. Bold strategy here by Ohio State. They're really gatekeeping hard here as we see that C4 go out. And he's going to get the team win.
Love it.
Wow, before I eat cherries, that's a high IQ play coming in there. He knows he's low on ammo, but he knows he also has that C4 in his pocket. He's going to be able to pop that as his teammate continue applying pressure from that rooftop and get that little team wipe. He's up to 9 runs so far in this lobby. He's doing great.
And right now they are doubling the score of Virginia Tech, leading 18-9 over Virginia Tech right now, guys. So Ohio State letting Virginia Tech, they're ready. They do not want to see a Game 3. They're ready to go home with their trophy and even up the Bragg House titles from our March Madness tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Taula 10 asking, what is this? A very fair question. This is the Esports College World Series final between Ohio State and Virginia Tech. We've explained it a few times, but we'll do it one more time for you guys in the chat. For those of you who don't know, obviously, coronavirus taking away all of our beloved college sports and professional sports. So the guys over at the Bragg House, they decided, we're not going to stand for that. We're going to do something of our own, something with that college sports vibe that people can still enjoy from the safety of their own homes. So what they did was they decided to make an esports tournament and kind of combine it with college baseball, and we've done that in a number of really unique, innovative ways. The first of that is that every single kill these players get is a run, and a run adds to their squad's total. Whatever squad has the most runs at the end of the game wins the game. And right now, Ohio State, they're up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. They keep packing on these runs. They're going to be walking home with our championship title.
And they're close, man. They are. Ohio State's blowing up right now with 20.
Yeah, they're looking really strong. Just 20 minutes into the game, averaging a run per minute. This is, obviously a great outlook right now for Ohio State. And guys, that's not the only way that we've incorporated baseball into this tournament. We've also added home runs and grand slams. And how those work are, whenever a team lives into the top 50 players of their lobby, their squad will be assigned a home run, which gives them 2 bonus runs to their total. And if any of that squad then goes on to live into the top 20 players of a lobby, that home run becomes a grand slam. And instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4. So right now, as you can see, Ohio State, they got 33 people left in their lobby. They're in home run territory, looking to make a push for that grand slam, just like they did at the beginning of game 1, as they push up by Stadium right now. They just revived their squad mate too, so they have a full squad of 3, and they're in a strong position right now.
And guys, we have 25 minutes left on the clock, so we are still in the heat of it. If anybody can pull it out and bring this back and bring it to a win, it's Freedom J and his crew. They said yesterday, don't underestimate them. I'm sure that they're ready to prove it to not just us, but everybody watching with the Bragg House from home. Not only that, but we have more cash to give away, guys. We're giving away some awesome prizes over the next couple minutes. 23 minutes left in the match, and you guys just have to be ready and wait. We're going to call out our secret keyword for this game, and all you have to do is go inside of the chat, list that keyword, and be a follower to double up your prize money. We're going to call out one winner before the match is over. So make sure you guys are tuned in, and make sure you're a follower of the Bragg House. This is your hub for college sports and esports.
Recruiting Wanda from our UCLA team that unfortunately fell to Virginia Tech in the semifinal. He's in here right now. He's saying things are getting ugly for Virginia Tech, the team that took him out. I knew he was rooting for Virginia Tech, so their loss didn't look quite as bad. But, a strong performance by Ohio State. Virginia Tech, they're not playing poorly by any means, but, Ohio State has just been playing on another level. We haven't seen this from them at all in this tournament. Obviously, they had to play really well to get here, but this has been like a whole nother plane of gameplay. For those of you guys that missed game 1, excuse me, Ohio State setting a single game high record-setting run total with 49 runs. The most we've seen across this tournament so far, almost getting that 50 bomb. They forced themselves to the gulag at the end, made it real close. And Scott, this performance is bordering on godly, if I must say so myself, calling it back to some of my predictions for Florida State earlier. I know, I see you, Scott, but if it makes you feel better, I was rooting for Ohio State this game. I did pick them to win, so, hopefully that will appease you just a little bit.
And guys, if you're just now tuning in, we have 22 minutes left. As Daniel just mentioned, we got a couple of kills left before somebody gets a home run and grand slam. Guys, this is...
Actually, sorry, not to interrupt you, man, but Ohio State right now, they just got a grand slam.
Yeah.
So
boom, there we go.
They have just 16 players left in their lobby, and they're pushing up to get some more right now, get some more runs. Ohio State adding 4 bonus runs to their total right now. These guys are looking so strong, and they're just massacring squads left and right now, getting a team wipe. Cherries, he's on a whole nother level. We didn't see as much from him last game as we had been from the tournament, but he is really woken up here. Ohio State right now, we're updating these scores for you. They're at 25 runs so far and only getting more. Virginia Tech right now, they're going to be backing out to the main lobby as Freedom J, he's struggling to get it going, had 0 runs in this past lobby. They're heading back to the main menu, and that's more time wasted for them. That's more time they're going to have to wait around, try to get into a new game.
Absolutely. And guys, we have 20 minutes left. So if you're just now tuning in, if you've been watching with us, you guys know the suspense. This is potentially the last game of the World Series. It's all going to come down to if Virginia Tech, Freedom J, Jamon, and C.H. Anderson can bring it up and catch up to Ohio State's 25-point lead over their 9 runs. Not only that, but Ohio State also just got their first grand slam of the match, I believe, of the actual series of this round. Now, Virginia Tech definitely has it in them. We've seen them do it. We've seen them come back from, I think, bigger losses than this, but they have to do it right now. This is the final moments, and if they don't bring it back, it's going to be an Ohio State victory. And guys, we still have 20 minutes left. And if you've been watching this entire tournament, you know Virginia Tech in 5 minutes can put 10, 15 kills on the board. If anyone can do it, it's these guys. So as they're jumping into their next game, let's stay tuned and make sure that we watch how and where they drop. If they go to a hot spot, if they go to Lumber Mill, if they go to Store, you already have to know that Freedom J and his crew are going to be on a run and gun mission. Ohio State, meanwhile, still in a round, pushing strong and all three players up with a comfortable lead on the board.
Yeah, they're looking really great right now. They just got 2 squad wipes right there in just 30 seconds of gameplay. They're really, firing on all cylinders. Ofo Pargam wondering, how does the World Series work? Well, it's just like the College World Series, where every team competes in a best-of-3 bracket. These 2 teams have made their way through a daunting bracket to earn their way into the finals. For Ohio State, they had to overcome Michigan State 2-1 in their first round. In the semifinals, they had to beat Florida State 2-1 in both those series, coming down from an 0-1 lead. And meanwhile, Virginia Tech, a little bit of an easier trip. They got Michigan in the first round. They beat them 2-0 with the series sweep. Then facing, one of the strongest teams we've seen so far in the tournament, UCLA, in that semifinal. They went down early, 0-1 in the series, but came roaring back with an incredible team performance in games 2 and 3.
Ryan, Virginia Tech lost the first game.
Yeah, excuse me, did I not say it? Yeah, Virginia Tech being down 0-1 to UCLA in that first game, and then coming back and winning there. Oh my God, Ohio State, they just
got
won their
Warzone
lobby.
victory.
Wow, so Ohio State, that's the first time we've seen a squad win their lobby so far this tournament. An incredible performance. Unfortunately, no bonus points for that, but by no means a slouchy performance there. They're going to rack up a ton of runs in that one lobby.
And not only that, but I believe that was their first lobby of the game still, if I'm not mistaken. So
it was their second lobby. They
second
they
lobby.
got into a new one pretty early, but
second lobby, they have almost
there.
30 points on the board. So I think that they might be trying to go after their own record that they just set just a few moments ago.
Yeah, they tasted that 50 bomb last game, and they definitely want to try and get it here. They came really close to winning their lobby, their first lobby of game 1. Fell just short, but now Ohio State, they finally pull through, get that win. And man, if I'm Virginia Tech and I'm seeing that, I'm scared. Ohio State is playing out of their minds right now, and I know Lavelle is nervous. He has been picking Virginia Tech to win this entire tournament.
I'm not nervous. I have no nerves at all. I made that comment, not to interrupt you, Ryan. It said they have been down 0-1 every single game in this tournament. Every single game in this tournament. So you know what? I'm gonna ride not being a fair weather to the very, very end.
The very end. Lavelle, our CEO, riding for Virginia Tech. Don't worry, you have Matt and I here to bounce it out a little bit. Picking Ohio State to win. I'm feeling pretty confident about my prediction. They didn't go so well in the semifinals, but here I'm happy to say that.
And the Oompa Loompas has updated the scores, I believe, so we should be able to see an update on our leaderboard in a second there now.
Yeah, right now we have an updated score. Virginia Tech 12 losing behind Ohio State's 34. So they are only 16 kills away to their own record that they just set at the Bragg House single match record of 50 kills in a single game. 49 kills in a single game. Formerly held by TCU until Ohio State just one game ago. And they have 16 minutes left to beat that record. So not only are they going for a win, but they're going for their own personal best.
Yeah, and Matt, you've been saying it. If any team can come back from this, it is Virginia Tech. They have been, able to really get it going across all of their series so far in this tournament. But a 22-run deficit, that is tough. My sweet boy, I see you in the chat. How you doing, my sweet boy? Cherries is in the chat right now. He's blowing us a little kiss. He feels confident. He feels good about this game. He thinks that Ohio State is going to sweep this series. And, man, right now they're looking really, really good.
Now, before I eat cherries, that is swagger. You are floating down to the earth. You take the time to back out, go into Twitch chat.
Wow, an Astro for Ohio State. He's coming into the Twitch chat. He's saying it's a wrap. Just call it. I don't know if Virginia Tech can hear this as they're playing. They're going to be in the gulag right now. But Ohio State, they did not come to play. They want that revenge for that March Madness tournament that they lost to Virginia Tech in the finals. Snowy Baby, what's up? following Bragg House. We appreciate that support, guys. Man, this has been an exciting final, especially if you're an Ohio State fan. Scott, I know that you are, just berserk right now with happiness.
Yeah, Scott's got to be happy. He's been calling, I believe, since like game one, tuned into the entire tournament. And guys, if your school's not already in the Bragg House, you guys can easily sign up by emailing us at the events@thebragghouse.com, events@thebragghouse.com, and you can sign your school up for our next esports tournament. As well, you can hit that exclamation social in the chat to figure out how you can connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. We have 15 minutes left of this match, guys. 15 minutes left. Freedom J, Jamon, and CH Anderson has a lot on the table. They have a full meal to eat, and they have only 15 minutes to do it. They have to get these frags. Not only are they going to have to get frags, but I imagine they're going to have to at least get one, possibly two Grand Slams. I don't even know if that's possible in the time frame we have left. It's gonna require a lot of magic and a lot of organization by their team.
I mean, yeah, I would love to see it. I'd love to see this go to a game 3 right after this, but Ohio State, man, they came to play and they are confident, and they've really done what I called before this series even started, what I knew these teams needed to do to win. They needed to come out of the gate early. Too often this tournament, we've seen teams get off to a slow start and really kind of take a while, wait until that 15, 20-minute mark to start, finding their groove, getting into the swing of things, and making plays. Ohio State, they were like, F that. We are going balls to the wall this entire match. They got out. They're getting out to a crazy early lead, and, it just becomes too much for Virginia Tech to overcome. They got to kind of, rest on their laurels a little bit over the rest of the game, and late in game and saying, OSU, it's a wrap. Scott singing the goodbye chant that we're all missing from college sporting events. We love to see that.
Absolutely.
Man,
that's a huge part of the Bragg House is, bringing that community together around sports. We love seeing the fandom around college sports. I can guarantee you this is a lot of the people that are watching. This is the first time you've probably felt this loyal to repping and standing up and chatting, showing love for a team. And that's because we did something new. We brought esports and college sports together. And we have 13 minutes left for Virginia Tech to give us a Game 3 of entertainment tonight, or Ohio State is going to be going home with the World Series title until next year.
Yeah, and I wish that I was more confident in this lead. I know it's a 21 lead. I know that Ohio State should be feeling good, but Virginia Tech, they did this against UCLA, man. They were down, and they just had a roaring comeback. I can't, get it out of my head that this game isn't over. In 13 minutes left, that's more than enough time for a team like Chanderson, Jamon, and Freedom J to pull this one out.
Absolutely, and they are jumping to the next match right now. 13 seconds left until they are dropping into their next match. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Daniel?
Oh, no, I was just saying, we've seen Freedom J in so many different occasions, getting a kill strike of 12, 15, in 2 minutes out of nowhere. So I would be the last one to say it's over for Virginia Tech. The last person.
Absolutely.
And Raffle, we see you in the chat. Why is there baseball mentioned but video games? We are happy to explain that for you. As you all know, due to the coronavirus, the college sports and professional sports in our world have unfortunately been canceled. And us over at the Bragg House, we are huge sports fans. We're all former athletes ourselves. So, they left a huge void in all of our hearts. And we decided, you know what, we're not just going to sit down and take that. We're going to find a way to implement college sports and esports, which you can do from the safety of your own home, not breaking quarantine. And how we did that is by hosting the Esports College World Series. And what that is a Call of Duty tournament with some baseball rules incorporated. And how that works is a number of ways. The first is that every kill that these squads get adds to their run total. Every kill counts as a run, and whatever squad has the most runs at the end of this 45-minute period wins the match. As well as that, we have offering these teams home runs and grand slams for reaching certain benchmarks. That benchmark is if any of a squad lives into the top 50 players in the lobby, they qualify for a home run, which gives their squad 2 bonus runs added to their total, which obviously makes a huge difference, especially in close games. And if any of those squads live into the top 20 players of a lobby, that home run becomes a grand slam. And just like that, instead of 2 bonus runs, they get 4 bonus runs. So obviously, a really creative innovative way for the Bragg House to be able to incorporate baseball into esports and really get that whole college sports vibe back. And, it's been a ton of fun, and we've already seen these home runs and grand slams make a huge difference in all these games, all these series in the tournament so far. And, it's not looking like it so far, but this whole grand slam by Ohio State could end up being the difference maker, but Virginia Tech really starts to turn it on these last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to have to. And speaking of which, 10 minutes left means, guys, we're giving away another prize. That means we have more cash to give away. Another winner from the Bragg House is going to go home with some cold hard cash. And of course, if you're a follower or a subscriber, that means you're going to double up your prize money. As long as you're a follower or a sub, all you're going to have to do is make sure that you enter the keyword Lavelle's about to give us. And as soon as you do that, you enter to win a cash prize. So Lavelle, let me ask, what is our keyword for the final game?
It's something that I want. I think everyone else wants. So I'm not giving up hope as a sports fan. It's 2 words, actually. Game 3. Game
3. So guys, game 3 in the chat. Game 3 is how you guys move forward and make sure that you guys enter to win. The easiest way to double your prize money is already being a follower of the Bragg House.
And guys, Ohio State right now, I know that they were popping in the chat. They were saying that that it's a wrap, but they're not playing like it is. They're still going really hard right now. They just got another squad wipe. As well as Cherries, earning his way out of the gulag. So as our Oompa Loompas in the back continue updating these scoreboards for y'all, it looks like Ohio State really, putting the pressure on here with just 9 minutes remaining.
Absolutely. And with being under 10 minutes, guys, make sure you enter game 3 in the chat for your chance to win. Our up-to-date score as of right now is 39 Ohio State, Virginia Tech 16. It's going to require a miracle at this point for Virginia Tech to come back and get us that game 3. But game 3 is what you enter in the chat for your chance to win cash from the Bragg House right now before the match is over.
And guys, something we haven't mentioned either is that, for those of you who've been following the Bragg House for a while, you'll know that we had a bracket for this tournament up before the tournament began.
Oh yeah.
And whatever team or whatever participant won that bracket had a completely 100% perfect bracket, won $1,000 grand prize. If multiple people won, it was split it up. I'm really curious, to see if Ohio State holds off Virginia Tech here. Is anyone gonna have that perfect bracket?
I think there's a couple of them actually, though, Ryan.
Really?
I can actually say a couple of interesting things. I'm not gonna name names, but there is an actual Ohio State fan who filled out the bracket who actually said Virginia Tech will win the final.
Really?
I'm not gonna say who it is because it'll be probably his last day on Earth. So we're not gonna say who that is.
But Dan, that's pretty smart though, because what if he was? I'm hoping he was actually gaming, because it's like that's hedging your bet right there.
Yeah,
it's like that's a pretty smart move.
Guys, I hate to admit it, but back when UVA won the national championship, I obviously went to UVA at the time. I had them losing in the Sweet 16 of my bracket when they won that national championship, because in my mind I was like, either they, go past the Sweet 16 and I'm pretty happy, or they lose before the Sweet 16 and my bracket gets a little bit better. I kind of respect that hedging of the bet by the Ohio State guy there. I'm sure he's kicking himself right now, but
I just want to mention real quick, guys, Freedom J kind of picking up the pace now. 6 minutes left. I don't know if it's gonna be enough time, but he did just get 2 kills. So in the last 30 seconds, did get 2 kills. Throwing C4 at this guy inside of a plane, trying to connect, see what frags he can get. Another frag on the board. Freedom J making a push by himself. 6 minutes, 31 seconds left on the clock, guys. We are close to the end of this, but we are not over yet, so you can still enter for your chance to win some cash. All I need to see is game 3 in the chat, and you are entered to win. We're going to be doing a giveaway as soon as the game is over. Right now, we have 6 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock for you guys to get that game 3 in the chat. Ohio State leading 40-17 over Virginia Tech right now, guys.
And protruding Juan from UCLA, he's coming in. He's been watching. He's saying 240 pieces for the dub. God damn. That is, I have to give it to Ohio State. Typically, it's only been taken into the 30s to win a lot of these matches, but Ohio State, they're not leaving any breathing room for Virginia Tech. They are stepping on their throats right now, and they are absolutely crushing it. And, like we said, type Game 3 into the chat. Make sure you stick around for the post-game. And we are going to be giving away this gift card for you guys as we stay in and see if Virginia Tech can overcome this 21-point deficit here in just 5.5 minutes remaining.
And 5.5 minutes is enough time that you can see some magic stuff happen. We're going to have to see Freedom J really do something tremendous to bring this back. But, right place, right time, simultaneously Ohio State making one mess up, and that could theoretically happen. Guys, if you are just out tuning in and you're liking this content, we do have another tournament coming up next week. We have a soccer tournament in Rocket League. It's a soccer game done with cars. If you haven't heard of Rocket League, it is a game that is famous all around the world as being one of the most competitive sports games out there. And we're bringing you another tournament next week. So make sure you're following us. Make sure you guys check out the website, thebraghouse.com, and check out our socials so you're up to date whenever we go live.
And we just want to give a quick thanks. Benevolent, thank you so much for the follow. Guys, remember, it is these follows and subscriptions that allow us to keep putting on tournaments like this for you guys. We really appreciate the support. It lets us know that you guys are enjoying our content, and it also allows us to keep putting out more content for y'all. So make sure you throw us that follow, throw us that subscription. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to our channel for free. And we really love the outpouring support from y'all. And hopefully we're going to keep up the content for you guys. We got a bunch of stuff in the works. We have Valorant, Hearthstone, as Matt just said, Rocket League tournaments, all in the works for you guys. So throw us that follow, turn on our notifications as well. That way you'll always know when we're streaming these tournaments. And follow us on social media. If you guys want to get involved, want to sign up, represent your school in one of these tournaments, follow us on social media. That way you'll always know how to sign up, what tournaments we're putting on, and when.
Absolutely, guys. We are 3 minutes, 50 seconds out from potentially saying congratulations to our new World Series champs, Ohio State. Right now, it is 40-19. We do have some score updates coming in. Again, Virginia Tech already lost game 1, guys, so they're going to have to step it up. They are going to have to catch a 43-point winner right now. Ohio State not letting it up, as Ryan just said a few minutes ago. We only have a couple minutes left, but they are still going just as hard as the first drop-in. So Ohio State wants this victory. They don't want to see a game 3. They're ready to see a trophy.
Yeah, and Ohio State, this is a big game for them, a big series, as not only are they going for the title, but they also lost to Virginia Tech in our last Esports tournament, losing in the final there. So this was a little bit of a revenge game for them, and they came to play. They were not messing around today.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And not only that, but if you look at their scoreboard right now, all 3 players in double digits. All 3 players are bringing a lot to the team. They're playing very evenly. And, really, it's a tro, Nick, 48 Cherries, between game sense, game strategy, and then using, the game mechanics and, the pinch hitter mechanic of baseball. They've really said why they belong here, and now they're showing us during the last 2 games why they deserve to be going home with that trophy.
Yeah. And, Dawson's saying we need a championship tiebreaker for the true world champs. Hey, maybe Virginia Tech and Ohio State, they'll have their opportunity in any future tournaments. But, man, these guys, Ohio State, I would not want to come across these teams in my lobby right now.
Absolutely.
Both of these teams playing really strong. And Ohio State, really, what they're doing is what we said the winning team needed to do. They're playing tight. They're playing as a team. They're not letting anyone get into any solo engagements. Everything they're doing together. And it's really paid off for them, as not only have they been crushing it on the scoreboard, but they also just won a lobby. Crazy stuff here from them.
Yeah, the fact that they won, they got a home run, they won a lobby, and then when they were dropping in after their victory, they came into the chat to drop a little bit of swagger on us. So, really, guys, Ohio State through and through, solid team, but more solid sportsmen. They've
guys,
really
and Ohio State, they just got a home run, so that's 2 more runs added to their total with only a minute and a half left. They have a chance at getting that 50 bomb. I thought that was going to be out of reach for them, but they are right there.
Let's refresh the scores, because I think you're all going to be very happy to see what we're seeing there.
50 before 8 Cherries with 18.
Wow.
It's a Tro 13. Nick 11. Pepe with 13. Bring it with only a minute 4 left on the board, guys. We just saw 50. Their own record set just 1 game ago. Game 1 of the finals, the World Series of Baseball. And following it up with setting another record with 50. A minute left, and they're still going hard. So they could set it even higher. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, Ohio State, really just incredible performance here. Looking like they're gonna get, back-to-back 49 and 50 bombs. Like, we haven't seen any team this tournament score this high. We hadn't even seen Ohio State before this round score over 40. So the fact that they came out here today, they were saving their best for last. And, it's part of like what Daniel said earlier in the stream. Ohio State made some really clutch substitutions. They put together their best lineup. They had been experimenting a lot earlier in the tournament. And, it's really paid off for them here in the finals, game 1 and game 2. They're going to sweep Virginia Tech here as time expires. Man, props to Virginia Tech, a great tournament. Great performances all around, but Ohio State just overwhelming today. Nothing
Absolutely.
that anybody could have done about it.
And the thing about it is, Virginia Tech played. It's like, but Ohio State just dominated. So, gotta give props to them, guys. Gotta give props to them.
Yeah,
so
I think
Lavelle,
it's an amazing
you've been
performance
saying
from
it.
both.
You've been saying it all tournament, Lavelle, where what you loved about this best of 3 setup that we have for this tournament is that you can't win on a fluke. The better team is going to be the one that moves forward. And today, Ohio State, they were just a better team.
Absolutely, guys. And we saw them now even up a tournament win series. I have a feeling we're going to see a rivalry form at the Bragg House between these two teams now. One title each. This is what the Bragg House is all about, guys. It is your hub for college sports. Right now, thanks to COVID, it is your hub for college sports and esports. But if this is any tell of the future, it looks like it's only going to get bigger. We have another tournament coming up next week where the Bragg House is doing an all-girls esports tournament completely wrapped around Rocket League, the #1 competition sports game involving cars. And not only that, but we also have celebrity hosts joining us. It's going to be a fun time. March Madness was a blast. This tournament has been absolutely amazing. We're seeing all types of crazy stuff happen, like Ohio State dropped 50 bombs, Virginia Tech, tons of fans in the chat. It's been amazing. Now, I think we have one more order of business, guys, and that's to do our final giveaway. So, Our final giveaway. Now, Lavelle, what is going to be the winner of the final prize?
The winner's name was Protruding Juan.
Protruding Juan. So Protruding Juan, email us, events at the Bragg House. Protruding Juan was actually in the competition as well. After he was out, not only did he come to say GG, he came to say, hey, let's get it one-on-one anytime you want it. True Bragg House style. And now he's going home still winning something. There's nothing better to see than a sportsman like that going home with some kind of a prize. Guys, thank you so much for having me today for the Bragg House's World Series of Baseball. Daniel, Lavelle, Ryan, you guys absolutely killed it. Thank you so much for putting on awesome content like this, and I really look forward to the soccer tournament later on this week.
Thank you, Matt. That was awesome, guys.
All right, thanks so much, guys. GG's in the chat. Such a bestie. Thank you for that last second follow. Can't wait to see you all at our next one.
Thank you, guys.